Hello again, Suridab here. So I've had a bit of lunch, thought we'd get back into it. I've switched over to the Super Nintendo for now because I figured a good, nice casual game to play is Donkey Kong Country 3. And as an added bonus, there's a secret merry mode, which changes the jingles in the bonus rooms to be a little bit more festive. And there are also some pretty cool winter themed levels. So yeah, why not? It gets overlooked quite a bit, I think, because it's not Donkey Kong Country 2. But it's a great game in its own right. If you can look past the whole Kiddy Kong thing, it's pretty cool. Like, I know he's not Donkey Kong, but I like him, and Dixie's my favorite anyway, and she's in 2 and 3, so I'm happy. So what we're going to do is we're going to stack up a few cheat codes before we start this new save file. So the way we open the cheat menu is we press LRR LRR LR LR. There we go. That's good. And then, yeah, we've basically got, just like you would enter the name of a save file, but instead it's for cheat codes. So if we enter the cheat code Merry, MERRY, that's the secret Merry mode for the bonus levels. And since we're here, and we're entering cheat codes anyway, what I'll do is we'll add a couple more. So we'll go for color, COLOR, no U because there's no space for a U. That's going to change their colors slightly. So Dixie, instead of being pink, she's going to be a purple color, and Kiddy, instead of being blue, he's going to be greenish. And let's add one more just to be interesting. Okay, if I can get back into the cheat menu. It worked that time. Maybe you have to do it at speed, I'm not sure. So finally we're going to go for T, U, F, S, T. It's the poorest spelling on the list. It's toughest, and this one removes all checkpoint barrels, so you've got to complete levels in one go. And it also removes most of the DK barrels, so if you lose your companion, you know, if you lose your extra Kong, it can be quite tricky to get them back. I think it removes all but the essential DK barrels. So there are some DK barrels that you need to kill certain enemies to get into certain bonus levels, and they're still intact. An interesting side effect of that is that if you see a DK barrel in a level, you should be suspicious. So yeah, so we've got those 3 cheats stacked on top of each other, so we're going to play in Merry mode in slightly different colours, and we removed all checkpoints and made the levels much harder. Let's just jump in and give it a go. We'll only play for about a world or so, and then what I'll probably do is I'll jump out, I'll go into my 100% file, which is file 2, and we'll play some of the wintry levels from later in the game. Because not only have we got levels that have got penguins in them, and we've got a really cool toboggan level, but you know, there's a snowman boss halfway through the game, so we're gonna have to do that. This is just a 1-player, and we will go for, there you go, we go 2020. Lovely. Sorted. So we can see straight away, even on the map here, we've got our purple Dixie. That I think the colours there, I think they've just been dropped in from DKC2's co-op mode. Well, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure this has got a co-op mode as well. By co-op, what I mean is it's like a 2-player mode, where there's 2 sets of Kongs, and you take it in turns beating levels. So I guess if you play co-op and you choose the color cheat, what it does is I guess it just swaps the colors. So the secondary team colors become the primary team colors and vice versa. I don't know, I'm just complete wild guess. It seems to make sense. I guess that's what they do. Okay, and straight in to Lake Orangatanga. So we should be able to blitz through these. The toughest cheat code, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference until later in the game. You're still bombarded with life balloons. We're going to end up with, over 10 lives by the end of this level, I'm sure. And the levels themselves don't get too difficult until later. They do ramp up in difficulty later. So we go, normally you'll be collecting stars, but because of the cheat code, we're collecting baubles instead. Christmas tree X, there we go. And we've even got the victory jingle has changed a little bit as well. I think it changes the fail jingle too. But I mean, hopefully we won't hear that. Yeah, the game, it just throws lives at you, especially early on. Oh, don't mind if I do. That one's worth 2. The bananas have been swapped out for Swedish presents. They look nicer than the baubles. They look prettier. I don't think the bauble render's very well lit. It looks a bit strange, but the presents look great. I don't know when or how they release the cheat code for like the Merry Christmas cheat code. I guess it would have been put in a magazine or something close to Christmas. I mean, that's how I would have done it. There we go. 15 lives. That should set us up just fine. Should be plenty to beat the first world. We've got quite a nice snow level coming up in this world as well. It's not the next level, but it's the level after that. Oh, can't forget the bonus levels. Oops, missed. You have to throw Kitty up there because you have to float across here as Dixie. But in order to get Kitty up there, you got to jump. Because, yeah, Kitty's heavy. They look fine. The baubles look fine, and it's a cool extra mode. But yeah, the presents look great. They look really cool. I think thematically the levels in this are even more varied than in DKC2. Although actually, having said that, DKC2's got some crazy level themes. Like you've got roller coasters and you've got beehives and but like the other side of the same coin is that 3 or 4 of the different themes are different parts of a pirate ship. You got like ship mast levels, and you've got like deck levels, and then flooded ship levels. So DKC2 is still my favourite. But I'm not one of those that like hates on DKC3. DKC3 is great, and they're both an improvement on the original. The original DKC is great, but it's like going back and playing it again, it's really janky. And some of the levels feel unfair. Like they kind of, I feel like they stretch that far. Still some really clever design in it. Like, what's it called? The treetops one, the first treetops level in the original Donkey Kong Country. That's a great level. Great music as well. Like, the music is consistently great all the way across the DKC series. And even the Donkey Kong Country Returns series as well, especially since David Wise came back for Tropical Freeze. Some really beautiful tracks in Tropical Freeze. So there's a bonus level coming up towards the end of this level, and in my opinion, it's one of the hardest bonus levels to access in the game, because you really need to know how to... So Kiddy's got this move where he kind of bounces off the surface of the water like that. I'm not going to be able to get the bonus now, because I've lost Kiddy. You get one attempt, because once you've bounced up those beetles, you can't get up here again. If you hit the water at the wrong angle, or you press jump at the wrong time, Kiddy doesn't bounce. I can't do it with Dixie. And you got to bounce all the way to that bonus. And it kind of makes sense that one of the hardest bonus levels to get into is in one of the first levels of the game. And also, it's not particularly well hidden. You can see the bonus, you swim past the bonus, even if you don't attempt the bounce, which is quite clever. It just gets you thinking, it's like, how on earth do I get up there? And I guess it's not until later on, when you start to master the movement in the game, that it becomes obvious to you how to get to that bonus. And even then, after you've worked it out, sometimes it'll take a couple of attempts. Or maybe I'm just really bad at bouncing off the water with Kiddy Kong, I don't know. Either way, that's how I read it. And yeah, I think it's a clever little bit of design. I love the weather effects. It probably looks horrible while streaming. Like it's gonna have a negative effect on the bitrate. Not a negative effect on, you know what I mean. It's gonna look muddy, but it looks great when you're playing it, and the way it changes over the course of the level as well. Like, it gets heavier, and then it gets lighter again, and finally just clears up, just becomes blue. It's really nice. Just completely clears up as you beat the level. They do a lot of that they did a lot of that in the original game. Not so much in the sequel, in DKC2. But yeah, lots of it in the first game. Where, you know, like the time of day would change, for example, as you make your way through a level. I love it when they do stuff like that. So Ellie the Elephant is scared of the mouse enemies. But as long as she doesn't see them, she's fine. Like, she can know that they're there, as long as she doesn't see them. So I can jump on this mouse, as long as it's not lit up. Which is it's quite an interesting mechanic. They play with it in, there's a secret level much later in the game where you get scared off by a pack of rats or mice or something right at the start of the level, and Ellie just runs for the whole level basically. Oh, okay, we need to go back. So yeah, you can't. It's like a non-stop runner, and you also pick up. There's a buddy called Parry the parallel bird, and he flies along the top of the screen. He keeps up with you, and you got to try and keep him safe while you're running non-stop through this level. So you got two buddies that occupy two different spaces that you've got to try and keep in check. Have I missed a barrel? Yeah. Maybe we'll play that level in a bit, because it's quite clever. I prefer Rambi to Ellie, but they've done some clever things with Ellie. Like, I understand why they've changed to Ellie, and she's really, like, it's a really complex animal buddy as well, because you can suck things in, and you can you can hold barrels with your trunk and get rid of them, and you can even, like, she can suck up water and shoot it at things. Like, they get an awful lot of use out of her. Whereas, Rambi, he just charges, and that makes him, he's much simpler. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, I suppose. I can see why they've gone for Ellie and like the, I guess, extra utility that she provides through being an elephant. You can just do a lot of cool things with her. I'm not sure what enemies you would make a rhino be scared of. Like, your animal buddies and your power-ups and stuff, they have to serve the level design, don't they? Have we beat him in 2? Yeah, we beat him in 2. Nice. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I'll just reset. We'll jump into our 100% file. I'll play that one level with Ellie and Parry the parallel bird, because it's a cool level. It's not a snowy level, not in the slightest, it's in a jungle. But then, yeah, we'll go and do some wintry levels, then some festive levels. And yeah, we'll finish off by beating up an evil snowman, because that's obviously the right way to finish off a festive play session of Donkey Kong Country 3. Right, where are we going? I think we're going here. Yeah. Stampede Sprint, I think is the one. So both bonus barrels are right at the start. because once you start the level, there's no going back. So I guess that's the only place they could logically put them. Right, off we go. So I can't stop if I want to now. Basically the only thing I can do is jump. And I've got to try and keep both Ellie and Parry alive. Oh, Parry's gone. Parry gives you... I think if you keep Parry until the very end, you get the third and final bonus barrel. Oh, Ellie's down one hit. There you go, there's the no parry sign. And then, yeah, that would give you a bonus barrel. And then, yeah, that's 4. You only get 1 attempt to get the DK coin in this level. And you're done. It's just a tricky level. It's really difficult to keep the bird alive. Ellie, not so bad. You know, it's fine. But yeah, keeping Parry alive, that's the tricky part. In fact, it's quite tricky to keep him alive in most levels that you get him. But usually your reward is like, I don't know, a 2-life balloon or a 3-life balloon or something like that, rather than something that you need to progress, like a bonus barrel. This is Bleak the Snowman. So I can switch between 2 planes, so I can either throw far away or I can throw near. And I'm trying to hit him on the button, the flashing button that he's got on his scarf. I've gone a little bit overexcited and jumped straight to him instead of playing some other wintry levels. But that's not the end of the world. We can do the penguin level after this level, and there's a cool toboggan level as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, Kitty's done. I don't think I can hit him from so far away because he's so fast now. I've got to wait for him to get close. Having said that, he might not do that. Okay, so we'll just try our best. Oh, there he is. That'll do. Ah. Oh, that was a bit scary. I don't think I can get him. I don't think he can get me either. So, okay, might be the last one now, last hit. It's definitely my last hit. That'll do. Yeah, he's done. That's yeah, a completely different type of boss. It's cool though. And we'll just we'll jump straight back in so I can show you some of the cool snowy levels. What do we like? We like the toboggan level, that's pretty cool. Crackshot Croc is great, but it's not a snowy level. And then we got Lemguin Lunge. Lemguin Lunge. There you go, they weren't penguins after all, they were Lemguins. I did that by accident, but I'm going to pretend it was on purpose. See, this is one place where the toughest cheat would have a DK barrel, because you need it in order to throw some. You know, you need to have both Kongs to be able to beat the Beetles. So yeah, there are other toboggan style levels in the game, but the rest of them take place in sort of like giant open sewer pipe kind of levels. This is the only one that takes place out in the open, and yeah, it's a great level. You got to stay on your toes as well, because I think some of the houses are solid, and some of the houses there's a banana trail at the bottom, so you know you can go through them, which is really weird. Like, if there's something in front of them, then you can pass in front, but otherwise you can't, generally. I think you can kind of make it out by the fact that there are paths that go around the outside, but it's quite difficult to tell. We don't care about getting the DK coin, we've already got it. Crackshot Croc is quite a long level. Let's play Lemguin Lunge. Oh, are we feeling fancy? Do we want to go for that bonus? Yeah. So these are the Lemguins. And they're going to do that for pretty much the whole level. Whoops. Never mind. So they start off straightforward enough. You end up kind of having to bounce off each one to progress, because they're moving so quickly. Or, you know, the spacing is so small. Whoops. So like here, especially with the banks, like the snow banks that you have to jump up, you can't do that without bouncing off the Lemguins, because there's just not enough time. That was lucky. Everything went as planned. Here we go, final challenge. Oh, well, it's going to be easier to go backwards into that one. So that's fine, that's good. Oh, that was close. So obviously it's, if you hit them on a beak, or they hit you with their beak, you take damage. There we go, that'll do. Go on then, why not? So this one, obviously not as festive. Takes place in a factory. Maybe it's snowing outside. So you play a squitter, and there's a Kremlin called Crackshot. And he's trying to hit you. So you get warned about it, and just before he fires, he completely stops. And there are also then these shields that you can hide behind. It's got one of the coolest bonus levels, which I'll try and make sure we go into. I don't think this is it. I think it's later in the level. But I won't spoil it. A lot of bonus levels don't really stick in your head, do they? They collect bananas, and they kind of this same-ish. They're gonna take place in an area that matches the theme of the level you're in. But yeah, this one bonus level that's coming up is It's very memorable. Oh, that was a bit risky. I'm not sure what the hot blancmange is, but obviously it's bad news and you can't touch it. An earlier factory level had a black and orange theme, and then that kind of made more sense because the vats were full of, I guess, lava. But yeah, in this level they're bright pink because everything else is pink. Oh dear, dear, dear. Squid, I think, is one of my favourite animal buddies. Most of his levels are really tough, but I still think he's a great animal buddy. There it is. I'm pretty sure this is it. It was tough enough to get to, so like it was well protected. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so completely flips the tables, and you get to play as Crackshot. You got to kill all the bad guys, which is really cool. It's a great concept. It doesn't play all that well, granted. There we go. And you got to shoot the coin to win, which feels a bit strange, but it's a great level. Like it's a really memorable bonus level. And it would have been really easy just to make another, I don't know, collect the stars or defeat the enemies of Squid. That's the right way to go. So what was this way? Aha! The letter G. Oh dear, dear, dear. You know, Crackshot sign, look. Right. Oh, it's one of those where you only get one attempt to get the DK coin. It's quite mean because it's yeah, it's not a short level. It doesn't take a huge amount of time, but it's not the shortest level either. Okay. What else can we do? That's kind of, I feel Donkey Kong Country 3'd out. And there are ice levels in Donkey Kong Country 2 as well, but I don't know, they're a little bit tougher and they're not quite as festive. Like, there are no giant snowmen to defeat. So let's have a quick look. We've got I tell you what I'll do. I'll take 5, I'll grab the Switch, find the Switch, bring that up, and we can play a couple of Switch games that I got in the in like the Christmas sales recently. So I will catch you in a bit.